Okay, back. Just a glitch. Got dropped there. Okay, last thing I heard you say was you'd be on the moon.
Yeah, I would just be on the moon if they just blew it out of the water and just just made a huge show for it for themselves. I they would because they would deserve it for the two false starts that they had. One having to deal with that the Zimmerman, not Zimmer. Well, excuse me,
Yeah,
uh, Spielman's last draft.
okay.
His people, his scouts, their prospects, the way he does things and the way he has learned working with the 49ers and the Browns, uh, he would have probably never gone for half of those guys that Spielman went for. So, and then of course the next year having to extend Cousins. So got stunted for that. But anyway, that all said, Vikings beat the Texans.
Okay. And I say that this is an L for us, but it's going to be a close L. My closing statement here, because I know we're short on time and I have to paste this to the interrupted first segment. But because you brought it up, I need to put this out. It's annoying me. You and I were in Las Vegas together for that draft for Kwesi's first draft, which everybody says, oh, it was a horrible draft, or what's he doing? There are people calling for his head for some stupid reason. I'm going to call it stupid because Spielman was here for years and he made bonehead moves and never got us a quarterback, and people didn't call for his head. But for some reason now Kwesi is being held to a different standard. I'll leave it at that. But I will say this. Kwesi Adolfo had that job for less than 6 weeks before he walked into the draft room. None of the people involved in the draft, none of the notes that were involved with the draft, none of the player selection, none of the scouts were Kwesi Adolfo choices. He walked into that office. Oh, and by the way, when he got hired, the Wolf said, welcome, go hire a coach. So he had to interview head coaches, including Jim Harbaugh, 7 candidates he interviewed while he was starting his new job. So for
Hmm.
anybody that thinks that Quadio ran that draft, they need to check themselves or wreck themselves, one or the other. It's like I'm not even going to say before they wreck
I was hoping you'd get to that because I know we were
it
talking about that last week. But anyway,
It's annoyed.
uh,
It has annoyed me to no end because I'm seeing what Quasi Dofaments is doing with personnel now, with the trades, with the moves, with the salary cap, and there's no way this man was in charge of that 2022 draft. It's not, or
and we
if he
still got our
was,
first round pick next year.
mm, or
And we
if
got our first round pick
yeah,
next year. So
exactly. If he was in charge of that 22 draft, the reason to keep him is because he was in charge of that 22 draft. And those of you who knock him, hear me out. If Kwesi Adolfo was in charge of the 2022 draft, we need to keep him forever because he got so smart in 2 years that somebody who can get that smart in 2 years will be a a Fulbright scholar, Rhodes scholar. He will be able to run the NFL by 2028. If he got so much smarter from 2022 to 2024 that he has been able to run a team the way he is now, then keep him forever. Pay him. Pay him, pay Flores, pay whomever you have to, but keep him. And that's all I have to say about that. I am tired of the people bashing him for the 2022 draft, a draft that he walked into. That's like blaming somebody who purchases a house for the fact that there's wood rot in the basement. Yes, you bought the house, but you didn't put in the basement. It was there when you got there. And that's
yeah,
that's that's my that's my that's my rant for the night. Peace.
a good one. All
Okay.
right, man.
All right. So until next time, the QR code. We'll catch you next
Peace.
week. Go.
Let's go.